I'm pretty interested to see where DAOs go.
When you listen to crypto people talk about crypto, they're so optimistic, they're so idealist, and then like you go use some of these things and you're like, this sucks. I mean, so you were in on this, dude, buying the Constitution.
Yeah, I think Marcus bought me some. He contributed for me and then sent me the token that you get. So for people to contribute to this, if you don't know what we're talking about, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, right?
Got it.
Correct. Okay. It's kind of like a programmable LLC.
Yeah.
With programmable governance and stuff in it. So it's like a company that you can create or an organization that you can create that you guys can fund, and then you can program the rules of how you use those funds, how the company runs, which has pretty crazy implications.
Okay?
Sorry. Stop.
Is your brain?
Dude, I have a speech impediment. All right?
Okay, all right. Just wait. I do too, but
I'm not okay.
Yeah, you're just, that was like a lot. That was like I'm running in a row. You said implications,
well,
bro.
because implementations is kind of similar, and so my brain just like got the two of those mixed up real fast.
It has very interesting implementations and
implications and implementations. Yeah, it does.
So that's kind of like a new word.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a fumble.
I'm way ahead. I'm playing chess.
Yeah. Implications, man.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where it's like no one knows how they're gonna use these, but in an experiment, people created one, and then they basically said, hey, they found out that they were going to auction off one of the copies of the original U.S. Constitution at Sotheby's, and they were like, let's raise money and buy it as a DAO. And so they raised $40 million in 3 days.
As a Canadian, I don't know if you should be allowed to own part of a constitution.
I know, it's true, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're a citizen now.
Well, here's the thing, is that you don't actually own a part of the Constitution.
That's
you own a part of the company that owns the Constitution.
Right.
And then you get to decide what they do with it, basically.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really mean anything. And as a contributor, your tokens only are worth what someone else will pay for them, obviously. But anyone else would want in because they'd want to decide what to do with the Constitution, which really isn't that cool of a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a weird experiment, and they got owned by the CEO of Citadel.
Probably like next in line to the devil.
Yeah. So basically they were at Sotheby's, and the auction ended, and I think CoinDesk or something tweeted that they won, or we won. Sorry, I'm part of it. So we won. And then turns out it was incorrect, and they found out that they got outbid in the last second. And then it came out like a couple hours later that it was fucking this guy.
Owned.
Ken Griffin.
Because obviously, the amount is like on display.
Yeah, they like didn't show. No, it was on display because you can look up the DAO's address and you can see exactly how much ETH is in there.
That's like one of the big criticisms of DAOs is like there's no corporate secrecy, which, tends to lead to bad things, but you do need some degree of like trade secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that sucks. He just had a crypto nerd on his team, and they're like, he's like 1 cent over.
Yeah, apparently that's what the final bet was 1 cent over what the DAO raised. It was just such a big fuck you. So if you guys don't know who Ken Griffin is, he's the CEO of Citadel, who pays for order flow from Robinhood. And they're the entire reason why the GME thing happened. And it was basically, Ken Griffin was like the face of the hedge funds and like the, classic Wall Street. Old money, yeah.
Yeah.
And like he was basically the one that was saying fuck you to the retail trader because he essentially got trading stopped. That's what people were saying.
He's next in line to the devil, man. He's a bad person.
And so in this case, a bunch of crypto people got together because they were like, let's do something really cool and let's test out the limits of this technology. And Ken Griffin was like, nah.
Yeah, that's pretty indicative of real life. What a message to send.
Yeah. Yep.
Guess what, crypto dickbags? You'll never beat us.
Billionaires always win.
Yeah. Y'all are excited about DAOs. It's more like BAW. Billionaires always win, pal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Shove that up your ass. The Virgin
DAO does not own a copy of the Constitution. Announces max bid prior to the auction. Burns millions on Ethereum network gas fees. Doesn't win auction. That's another funny thing. Is that like the gas fees were so big in the heat of everyone contributing that it cost a shit ton to even contribute.
Yeah.
And then when they didn't win, they were like, okay, you can you can request for your funds back through whatever the network they did the DAO through, but the gas fees were like just as much as people contributed. So you couldn't even get your money back.
R.I.P.
The easiest front running I ever did, paid exactly 1 cent more than DAO max bid. This will pair well with my
$100 million Basquiat.
Yeah, and my $238 million penthouse.
Only gas fees paid on day of auction were for a private jet. Yeah. What's it like being a virgin DAO owner?
I mean, it sucks. It's not fun, dude.
I'm keen on this motorsport DAO. I'm going to do it, man.
Yeah, you should.
Motorsport's expensive, man. It like, yeah.
Noel wants to join F1.
There's like hilarious stories of dudes getting into F1 that just should not have been there because like they literally can't keep up. There's like a rule, like there's like a equation of like your timing, and if you don't fall within the time, like you can't race. Like you get your license revoked and they say goodbye. That would be me like on the practice day.
Yeah,
they'd be like, "Hey, he's gonna die out here.
Yeah,
so he's got to go."
And you're like, "Okay, guys, you can request
your
refund
money back,"
and nobody can because the gas is too high.
So I just maybe let's vote on what else I should not be able to race in. Maybe Formula 2. The money in Formula 1 is so wild. So this new Chinese driver, he took a seat at Alfa Romeo, Guan Yu Zhou. He apparently it was something like I heard a rumor that he just showed up with like fucking 10 mil or more, which is like sign me 10 mil. And they have this other driver, they call him Italian Jesus. That dude got the boot so swift. They're like, "Hey man, it's nice knowing you."
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because he doesn't have.
Because he doesn't have 10 mil. Because the sport is so fucking expensive. Or I think he maybe showed up with more, but I think no, he showed up with like 10
and gave it to F1.
Yeah, so it's weird. Like,
who makes the money?
My understanding of Formula 1 is it's almost like literally like media creation, where the drivers are the talent and they bring investment. So it's either through a sponsor or whatever. Could be their own money, like if they're fucking rich as fuck. And they pay themselves out a salary. But like that's why it's the same grind as like Jake Paul and anyone else. Like they're just selling merch to try to actually make some money from it. And then they hope they win. But if you don't win, you're just literally burning cash. It's nuts.
Wow.
The winnings are crazy though. So, if we start my F1 DAO, if we just beat like Ferrari or Mercedes, which is no big deal, honestly. Power of the internet, we can do it.
But you won't see any of that money. But you will get your face on the car.
You will get your face on the car.
Yeah. You'll own your face on the car, and that's it.